combination, for your combinations only, combinations of functions. Very easy topic, combinations of functions, which basically means you need to add. You will be given two functions. You will be given two functions, f and g. You will be given two functions, f and g. Suppose, so I'll just write the definition if you want to write it. Let f and g be two functions. Okay. The sum f plus g, the difference f minus g, the product f times g, and the quotient, which is f divided by g, are functions whose domain are the set of real numbers common to the domain of f and g. So that is domain of f. I'll explain this. Don't get confused. I'll explain all this. But right now just write the definition. Defined as follows. So what does it say is, first is sum. So it is basically, if you're given f plus g of x, it is basically equal to f of x plus g of x. If they say find the difference, f minus g of x, it is actually equal to f of x minus g of x. If it says find the product f g of x, that means you're going to find f of x and multiply it with g of x. Similarly is quotient. Which is basically f of x divided by g of x. Don't get confused about with the definition. I'm going to explain you. Once we start doing the problems, it will be much more easier to understand what they're trying to say. So if I take an example, I say f of x is given to be 2x minus 1. This is your fx given. And you are given gx as x square plus x minus 2. What they want you to do is this thing given, they want you to find f plus g of x, f minus g of x, f times g of x, and f over g of x. That's what they want you to find. And then they want you to determine domain of each function. And at the end, they want you to find the domain of each of them. So let's talk about f plus g of x. F plus g of x. Basically, you have to add them, right? F plus g, that means you need to add them. So just add fx and add gx. Whatever is fx given to you, put fx. Whatever gx is given to you, gx. Make sure you put in a bracket. Whenever you are substituting, make sure you put in a bracket. So what is my fx? 2x minus 1. I'm going to put in a bracket. Since they're asking me to add them, they're asking you f plus g. So they want me to add them. I'll put addition sign, then I'll put my, whatever is gx given to me, I will put my gx. Since I'm adding, I can just open my bracket directly. I don't have to worry about anything. So my first bracket is 2x minus 1. This is positive sign. Everything remains the same. So I get this thing. Now let's combine the like terms. Do I see any other x term? X term. I see two of them. What is 2x plus x? 3x. Next is constant. Let's see, do I have any constant? Yes. -1, -2. So I have -3. Constant. X square, I have just one term, so as it is. That's your answer. If you want it, you can put in standard form, highest degree, then 1 degree less than the constant. This is standard form. I just rearranged after that. So basically, if they're asking you to add whatever is fx, put in a bracket, plus sign, whatever is gx, put in a bracket, open the bracket, combine the like terms and solve. Any question with f plus g? Everyone got f plus g?
Can you just explain it one more time, because I was writing it all down, so can you just...
Yeah, it's okay, yeah. So this is my fx given to you. Fx is 2x minus 1 and gx is this thing given to you. X square plus x minus 2. Let's first, we are talking about, they want you to add these two. They want you to find f plus g. So just add them. Just add them. Whatever is fx, put in a bracket. Since I want addition sign, put addition in the middle. And whatever is gx, put in a bracket. Addition, just open the bracket. I just opened it. I got this thing. Then I'm combining the like terms. 2x plus x. It becomes 3x. Then -1, -2, -3. Then just x squared, it means x squared, and then I just rearranged. I upload my notes and my lecture on Canvas. So in case you miss notes or my lecture, you can always go on Canvas and check it out. Any questions? Anyone? F plus G. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is F minus G. Okay. Let's see here. Do here. Second. So next thing they want me to find is F minus G of X. Now they want me to subtract. From fx, they want me to subtract gx. From fx, they want me to subtract gx. Just substitute value. Make sure you put in a bracket. When you're substituting, make sure you put in a bracket. What was your fx? 2x minus 1. Put it here. You get 2x minus 1. Then there is a minus sign. Put a minus sign. Make a second bracket for gx. What was your gx? X square plus x minus 2. Open the bracket and solve. That's it. Open the bracket. So you get 2x minus 1 minus x square minus x, and the negative makes it positive. Note, whenever you have a negative sign in front of a bracket, whenever you have a negative sign in front of the bracket, it will change sign of each and every term inside. It will change the sign of each and every term after the bracket, after the minus sign. So this was positive, this becomes negative, this is positive, this becomes negative, this is negative, this becomes positive. Minus sign changes the sign of each and every term after that. So let's combine them. X terms and x term. 2x minus x, which is just x. Minus 1 positive 2 is just positive 1. Then x square, there is just one term. And let's rearrange. First I want to write the x square, then the x term, then the constant. Any doubt? Let's find multiplication now. You have to multiply them. Again, they want you to find fx times gx. If they're asking you multiplication, they're basically asking you to multiply these two things. Multiply, whatever was your fx, put in a bracket, times, then you had x square plus x minus 2. Distribution. Distribution in this case. How do you do the distribution? For doing the distribution, what you do is take one term. Take one term from the first bracket. I take 2x. Multiply this 2x with everything here. Multiply this 2x with everything here. First I multiply 2x with the first term, there is x square. I get this thing. Then I multiply this plus 2x with the next term, which is x. Then I multiply the 2x with the next term, which is negative 2. I get this thing. Then I'm going to multiply this negative 1. Negative 1 with the first term. I get negative 1 times x square. Then I have again negative 1 multiplied by x, and then I have negative 1 times negative 2. So first I took one term, I multiplied by each and every term here. Then I took the second term and multiplied with each and every term here. I got this thing. This basically becomes 2 remains 2. X times x square is x to the power of 3. You add when the same base, different exponents, same base, different powers, multiplication, you add. So it was 1 here, it becomes 3. Here 2. Basically here it was 1, here it was 1. It becomes 2x to the power of 2. Multiply the constants here. 2 times negative 2, negative 4x. This becomes negative x square. Negative times x square is negative x square. This becomes negative x, and this becomes positive 2. Then combine the like terms. Combine the like terms. Let's see x cube term. I don't have any other x cube term, so that's my only answer. X square, let's see. X square, this I have and this I have. 2x square minus x square. I'm left with just 1x square. Then negative 4x, negative x becomes negative 5x, and then positive 2. Let's find the division one. Division 1. They want you to find this thing, so basically divide fx with gx. My fx was 2x minus 1 and gx was x square plus x minus 2. Substitute values and make sure you put in a bracket. Make sure to put in a bracket. In this case, in division, you cannot simplify anything. If you can simplify, you simplify, but in this example, we cannot simplify anything. So that's my answer. So that's my answer. That's it. You leave your answer. Write it in division form. That's it. If you can simplify, simplify. But in this case, I cannot. So your answer remains as it is. So basically, if they're asking you to add, you add them, simplify. If you're asking you to subtract, subtract and simplify. Multiplication, multiply and simplify. Division, divide and simplify. It's just basically you're putting in values. That's it. Any questions with this thing? These 4 parts here. Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of functions. Any questions, anyone?
Can you just stay on that page real quick so I can finish copying it?
Yeah. Anyone else? Any questions?
Can we do a quotient one that you simplify in?
Yeah, I'll do that too. Yes, I'll do that. Any other thing who did not understand this example? But next thing, in this question specifically, we did not do one thing is find the domain. One thing you have to do is you have to find the domain. How do you find the domain in this case? So how do you do it? Okay, someone is copying, let him copy. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we need to find the domain. Let's find domain. Okay, can I have Jamie?
Yeah,
Okay, Jamie. What's the domain of fx here?
for that specific problem that we did.
Yes, just fx.
Should I try to do it?
We
I don't
didn't.
know.
You don't have to do anything. You already know. Do you see a denominator?
No.
Do you see a square root?
Oh, it's negative infinity to infinity.
Okay, perfect. Jamie. Tracy? Tracy?
Yeah.
What's the domain for my gx?
It's negative infinity to infinity.
Perfect, perfect. Benjamin?
Yes.
Okay. So in this case, but they are not asking you to find the domain of these two, f and g. They are asking you to find the domain of these things which you're finding right now. They want you. What do you think is the domain for this thing? The final answer you got.
For which one is that?
F plus g of x.
It's negative infinity to infinity.
Yes, it's negative infinity to infinity. Note, whenever you are finding the domain, I again repeat, whenever you are finding domain for combinations, you will look at the original function's domain and the last one and combine all of them. And you're going to combine all the domains. In this case, these two had negative infinity to infinity, so you did not have to worry. It's all real numbers. So whatever you feel is the domain for the end one, that's your final answer. But in case these were changed, you have to combine all the three. I'll explain you how. We'll do that, more examples. But usually you have to look at your f and g also. Original fx and gx also to find the domain of this thing. Okay, let's see what about f minus g? Jacqueline? Jacqueline? Not here? Okay. Melanie?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the domain for this one, f minus g?
Isn't it negative infinity to infinity?
Perfect. No denominator, no square root. It's negative infinity to infinity. Sean? Okay. Sean, what's the domain for this one?
Which one?
F times g of x.
Oh, wouldn't it be x squared plus x minus 2?
Domain.
Negative infinity to infinity.
Yes, in this case. You were not there in yesterday's lecture. Did you get it? What was taught yesterday?
What?
You were not there in yesterday's lecture.
No.
So did you understand what was taught yesterday, or you did not follow up as yet?
I'm doing it after this video.
Okay.
I still take the notes.
Okay. Cole Adam.
Yeah.
What's the domain for this one? F divided by g. Everyone work on the domain. I want the domain of f divided by g of x. You know how to do it. We did in the last lecture. Cole, what are you doing? How did you find it? Can you give me the steps? Cole?
Sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
Okay, can you give me the steps of how to do this?
Since there's x squared in the denominator, don't you have to use since it means it's not equal to 0?
Okay. Not equal to 0. Okay, perfect.
And then since it has x squared, that means that you do the quadratic formula.
What's your A?
A is 1,
B is?
B is 1,
C is?
and C -2.
Perfect. So I put in here negative.
Yeah, I'm plugging them in right now.
Yeah, solve it. I'm gonna solve here.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you get the same answers?
Yeah.
So what's my final domain?
So it should be negative infinity in open bracket, and then -2, and then open bracket -2, and then 1 open bracket,
Okay,
and then 1 open bracket 1, and then infinity open
perfect.
bracket.
Perfect. When you do the homework, guys, there is something known as, they put U symbol here. U. U means union. Don't get confused between this U. This U means union. It's known as union. In mathematical language, it's basically OR. It's this or this or this. So you will see this U there. And this symbol means AND. This symbol means AND. It is known as intersection in math section. So if you see, basically when you define a domain, you use this union. It's this union this union this. When you'll do homework in MyLab, maybe they'll give you have to use this symbol union. If there is multiple parts to it, you have to write it this way.
Miss K,
Yeah,
could you explain the end of the problem?
this thing here.
Yeah, that same problem, but the bottom. Yeah, those ones at the bottom. Can you
Okay.
explain that, please?
Okay, so let's solve this. When I solve this, I get -9 plus minus 1 plus 8 is 9, right? 9 divided by 2. What's square root of 9?
3.
That's what I got here. Then I separated it. When you separate it, you get x is equal to -1, -3 over 2. And then here you get -1, +3 over 2.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I just skipped steps there, yeah. Once you got this, I want you to do these problems yourself right now. So you're gonna do problem. You're given fx is equal to x minus 5. And you're given gx as x square minus 1. I want you to find addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all of them. And I also want you to find the domain for all of them. So you need to find f plus g of x. You will find f minus g of x. You'll find f times g of x and f over g of x. And domain also. Domain of all of these. Do right now this problem. I want everyone to do it right now.
For the g of x, is it a negative x squared or is
Just
it
x squared.
just x squared?
Just
Okay.
x squared minus 1. If you need help, let me know. If you're confused with any part. Cole Hartman. Cole Hartman. Not there. Kelly.
Yes.
Yep. Can you tell me what did you get f plus g of x?
Is that x squared plus x minus 6?
Okay. Plus x minus 6. Perfect. And what's the domain?
Negative infinity and infinity.
Perfect. Perfect. Faith.
Yeah.
Did you
Yes.
find f minus g of x?
I got negative x squared plus x minus 4.
Minus 4. Perfect. Yes. What's the domain?
Negative infinity to infinity.
Perfect. Perfect. Good. Maximus.
Yes.
Okay. Did you find f times g?
So I got x to the power of 3 minus 5x squared minus x plus 5.
Minus x plus 5. Let me
Yes.
check. So you got x cubed. Perfect. Yes. What's the domain?
Negative infinity to infinity.
Yeah. Perfect. Good. Carmen.
Yes. I'm working on it right now.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I'm halfway done.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Take your time. But you're gonna find f divided by g times x.
Miss R, shouldn't the one before it be negative x cubed?
For which one?
The product one.
Product one. Let me check. X cubed minus x minus 5x squared plus 5. What are you saying it's wrong?
Shouldn't it be negative x cubed?
Negative x cubed. No. Because when you multiply x times x square, it gives you positive. Are you getting it? Who had problem with this one? Who was getting negative x cubed?
It's x times negative x squared. So wouldn't it be x cubed?
So let's see. Let's see. I'm going to do the f times g. Let's see.
It's not negative x squared.
It's not negative x squared. This is positive x squared, guys. It's equal to sign. It's positive, positive. I'm sorry.
Shouldn't the constant on the product of f times x be 6?
No, it's multiplication. It's not addition. It's multiplication. You're multiplying negative 5 times negative 1. It gives you positive 5. Yeah.
I forgot.
So, Carmen, did you get your answer?
I'm a little stuck
Okay, you tell
on
me
like
what's...
the last part of the problem.
Okay, you tell me what is fx.
Fx is x minus 5.
Okay, so I put it on the top. What is your gx?
X squared minus 1.
X squared minus 1. Can I simplify this further?
No.
That's it. So how do you find the domain? What's the domain for this one?
X squared minus 1 does not equal to 0.
Okay, so what do you get?
And then you have to put it in quadratic formula.
What's your a?
1,
b?
1.
Where b is next to x. Do you have x term here?
No.
So B
So it's
is
0.
yes. And C is
-1.
perfect. So let's put in the formula. So you get negative 0 plus minus square root of 0 square minus 4ac over 2 times 1. Square root of
I realized my mistake.
yeah. And you tell me what you get your answer, final answer.
So
I want my final domain.
So the domain would be open bracket negative infinity to -1,
Yes.
and then close open bracket, and then open bracket -1 to 2,
Why 2?
because
It's
1. 1, sorry, 1.
1. Yes.
And then 1 to positive infinity.
Yes. And you there in the middle you can put a union sign since I have multiple parts to it. Perfect. Any question with this part here? We'll do one more problem on this. So in this case, you're given fx as square root of x plus 3, and you're given gx as square root of x minus 2. You're given fx as square root of x plus 3 and you're given gx as this thing. They want you to find just f plus g of x and they want you to find the domain. They want you to find the domain and then they want you to find the addition of it. Mason.
Okay.
Yeah, can you help me find the first f plus g of x?
Plus 3 is equal to square root of x plus 3 is equal to the square root of x minus 3. And no, plus the square root of x minus 3.
Yes.
Yes.
And we cannot do anything. That's my answer. What's a domain?
Because it's a square root, you put it as, I don't know what you do there.
So whenever you have a square root and it's in the numerator, it's not in the denominator. Whatever is inside the square root, you put greater than equal to 0.
Okay.
I'll put that also greater than equal to 0. I'll put x minus 2 greater than equal to 0 also.
Okay.
Let's solve. What do I get? I need just x. What do I do?
Subtract 3.
Okay, I get x greater than equal to negative 3. What about this case?
X is greater than or equal to 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You get this thing. Let's draw a number line. I draw first comes negative 3, then 2. X greater than equal to negative 3. Which side I'm going? Right side or left side?
Right.
Right, you're saying. Okay, I'm going this side. Is my negative 3 included?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's greater than or equal to.
Yes, there is equal to also, so it's included. I make a dark circle. That means it's included. What about this 2? X greater than equal to 2. Which side I'm going?
The same way.
Same way, right way, right? And is
Yeah.
2 included?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I need to, these both are not my answer. I need something which is common between both of them. What's common between both of them?
What do you mean? What's common between
So,
both of them?
for this thing, all the solution is this side. Including this side is the solution. For this point, this side is the solution, including this. What's common between both of them?
I don't know.
You don't know what's common? See this part, right? This part. This part is included in both of them, right? So that's my final answer. What is it? 2 to infinity, right?
Yeah.
Will 2 be included?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was included here and it is open like this. Infinity is always open. So if you have two conditions in the same problem, note in this condition I had here also inside the square root, here also inside the square root. That's how you do it. First you solve them separately and then see what's common between them. What's common between both the domains? I found that 2 to infinity was common and 2 including. So that means I kept my 2 as closed. If you're done with this thing, I want you to try this problem here. So you're given fx as square root of x minus 3 and gx as square root of x plus 1. You need to find f plus g of x and also the domain. And domain. Do it right now. And if you guys did not understand the previous one, anyone who did not understand can ask me right now. The previous problem, how to find the domain. Andrea?
Yeah,
Okay. What is f plus g of x?
it's square root of x minus 3 plus the square root of x plus 1.
Okay. Perfect. Did you find the domain?
I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Perfect. Work. It's okay. Do it and let me know.
I put the numbers on the line, but I don't know what to do from there.
Okay. What are the two numbers you got?
I got -1 and 3.
-1 and 3, right?
Yeah.
-1 which side I'm going? Left side or right side?
To the right.
Okay. Is -1 included?
Yes.
What about 3? Right side, left side?
Right.
Okay. Is 3 included?
Yes.
What's common between them?
-3.
-3 or 3?
3. Sorry, I mean
Yeah.
3.
See, this is common, right? This both is common. See here, color the common area.
Yeah.
So what is it? 3, 2?
It would be close bracket 3, comma infinity with open bracket.
Yes, perfect. If you did not understand this, guys, please ask me. If you did not understand how to find the common area.
For the f plus g, like combining the two equations, is it already simplified?
Yes, it's
Is that-
simplified. You cannot simplify further. Any other question, anyone, with these combinations?
I have a question. Why is it close bracket 3 instead
Be-
of like the -1? Like I don't understand that.
Okay, let's see. When you solve this one, okay, when she solved this bracket, what did she get is x greater than equal to 3, right? When she solved this bracket, she got x greater than equal to -1. Okay, if she drew this, -1 comes first, 3 comes first. She's saying since it's including, there's an equal to sign, so I make a dark circle. Even for 3, this thing is included and it's this the answer, right? Now you have to find the common area. What does this mean? This means -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything is included in this area. For this one, everything including -1. Starting from -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till infinity, all the numbers are included. Okay. For this thing, what happens? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all this is included. What's common between them? Jaden.
Do you mean like a common number in between them? Like
Yes.
like 2, 1, 2, 3, or like
Yes.
1, 0, 1, 2?
Yes. So what's common?
Like 1. I don't know.
See here. You tell me. So for this one, it starts with -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to infinity. It's going, right? And for 3, what
Yeah.
happens? It's starting with 3, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way till infinity. What's common between them?
Oh,
See,
3.
3 to infinity, right?
Yeah.
That's how he got it. She got it. Did you get it now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Any questions with how to find the common domain? Okay. Next thing I'm gonna move to is composition. Understand this topic very carefully. So I gave you last homework, and there was a question related to composition also. So if you did not get at that point, you will get it today. Composition. Composition is basically what is they're gonna ask you to find FOG of X. This is O. FOG. This is composition sign. This O is a composition sign. So either they are gonna ask you to find FOG of X, or they will ask you to find GOF of X. So either they're going to ask you to find FOG of X, or they're going to ask you to find GOF of X. How do you do it is, keep F as it is. Keep the first term as it is. In this case, F is first. I'll keep F as it is. And in this case, G is first. I'll keep G as it is. Okay. Change this O into bracket. This O, change into bracket. Change this O into bracket. And whatever is after O, write it inside the bracket. After O, I had GX, I'm going to write GX. In this case, I had FX, I'm going to write FX. That's how you can remember. That's the easiest way to remember. Write the first term as it is, change the O into bracket, and then whatever is after that, put inside. That becomes your inside function. So suppose you're given, I ask someone, I'm given FX as 3x minus 4. Before I go to the actual question, I want to find f of -1. Can anyone tell me how can I find f of -1?
Inversing it?
No, this number. I'm not writing f to the power of -1.
You input the -1 into the x.
Yes. So basically here, wherever I see x in my question, I'm going to replace it with -1, and then I will solve. It becomes -3, -4, it becomes -7. So whenever I say find f of some number here, I'm not saying f power. F power is inverse, but I'm asking you f of -1 like this. Wherever you see x, you replace that with that thing and then solve. Similarly is with this thing. So suppose I say you're given fx as, in this case, you're given 3x minus 4, and you're given gx as x square minus 2x plus 6. What they want you to find is FOG of x. They want you to find GOF of x, and they also want you to find is GOF of 1. These are the three things they're asking you to find. How do you do this is, first of all, again, I told let's find FOG of x. They want you to find FOG of x. How do you do? I told you first term as it is, O changes into bracket, and then inside you have GX. Okay. First thing what you're going to do is substitute whatever is inside the bracket. Inside it says GX, right? So whatever was my GX, I'm going to replace that GX with that thing. So I'm going to replace it with x square minus 2x plus 6. Any questions still here first? Anyone has any questions how I got this here? X square minus 2x plus 6. This is the symbol of composition. So if they ask you f o g of x, you change this o into bracket and solve the bracket first. Replace the gx. Gx is given to you in the question. This thing, replace it. Now they are asking you to find f of this whole thing. F of this whole thing. Remember we did this question here? I asked you to find f of negative 1. What you did is you replaced x with negative 1. Similarly, you're going to do here. Now you're given f of this thing. In fx, wherever you see x, you're going to replace it with this whole thing. So it becomes 3. After it was x, right? I'm going to replace this x with this whole thing. X square minus 2x plus 6 and then minus 4. This thing is a tricky step. If you guys did not get this, you can ask me right now here.
Could you re-explain it, please, Ms. K?
Yeah. So you got this thing, right? You got this thing here. Did you, Cameron, did you get this step here? What we did here?
Yeah.
What we did is, I told you to find f of negative 1. Wherever you see x, you put there negative 1, right? Now I want you to find f of this thing. In place of 1, this whole thing is there. What are you going to do in fx? Wherever you see x is coming to here only, right? Wherever I see x, I'm going to replace this whole thing there. That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone who did not understand? And then solve. What does it? Open the bracket first. 3 times x squared, 3x squared, 3 times negative 2, negative 6x, 3 times plus 18, negative 4. Simplify as much as you can. Plus 14. That's your answer. Similarly is with g o f of x. If I say find g o f of x, keep g as it is, o changes into bracket, whatever is after that goes inside the bracket. Again, you're going to substitute the value inside the bracket first. Inside the bracket, what is my fx? 3x minus 4. Put there 3x minus 4. Now you have to find g of this thing. So wherever I see in gx, wherever I see x, I'm going to replace that x with this whole thing. 3x minus 4. It becomes 3x minus 4 whole square, because it was x square. X changed into 3x minus 4. Then there was minus 2. I'll keep minus 2 as it is. Then again there was x. I'm going to replace x with 3x minus 4 and then positive 6. Wherever I'm seeing x, I'm going to replacing with 3x minus 4. And I'm putting in a bracket. Make sure you put in a bracket. Any doubt till this step here, anyone? Solve. Jaden, how can I solve this? 3x minus 4 whole square.
Well, you can expand the bracket at first and then multiply, and then
Multiply with what?
for which one?
How do I expand this?
It'll be 3x minus 4 times 3x minus 4.
Yep, it is 3x minus 4 square means you're multiplying the same bracket twice. And here you can start solving. Minus 2, this becomes negative 6x, negative 2, this becomes positive 8, positive 6. Let's multiply here. Open the bracket. First, FOIL method. FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. First ones. 3x times 3x, 9x squared. Outer ones. 3x times negative 4, negative 12x. Inner ones, again you get negative 12x. Last ones you get positive 16. And then you had negative 6x plus 8 plus 6. Try to solve. I don't see any other x square term, so I keep x square term as it is. Negative 12x, negative 12x, negative 6x. It becomes negative 30x. And then 8 plus 6 becomes 14. That's your answer. Oh, there's 16 also. You have to add 16 also. Oh, it's 30. I did not add 16. It's only 30. I just added 8 and 6. There's 16 also. Any doubt till this problem here? How to find g o f of x? So you found f of g of x. You found g o f of x. In the next part, they are asking you to find g o f of 1. G o f of 1, not g o f of x. Note, you already found g o f of x, which is this whole thing. You just found right now. But they want you to find g o f of 1. So wherever you see x here, replace that with 1. That's it. Wherever you see x there, replace that with 1. So basically what I'm trying to say is, so you found g o f of x as 9x squared minus 30x plus 30. This is what you found right now. In the third part, they want you to find g o f of 1. So wherever you see x here, replace that with 1. It becomes 9 times 1 square minus 30 times 1 plus 30. It becomes 9 minus 30 plus 30, which is 9. That's your answer. That's your answer. If you have done this, I want you to try this problem here. You are given fx as 5x plus 6. You are given gx as 2x square minus x minus 1. You have to find f o g of x. You have to find g o f of x. And then you also have to find f o g of negative 1. Do this problem right now. Is Gabriella here? Gabriella? Gabriella not here? If anyone is friend with Gabriella, Ariana, Andre, tell her to contact me soon. If you are friend with Gabriella. Alexander?
Yeah.
Can you help me find f o g of x?
Yeah. I just started the problem, but I'm already worked my way through it. So first you put it into the equation, which is 5 multiplied by 2x to the power of 2 minus x minus 1. And then put those in brackets plus 6.
Okay.
And then you distribute the 5 to the g. And then that breaks down into 10x to the power of 2 minus 5x minus 5 plus 6.
Okay. What's the final answer?
And then to simplify, 10x to the power of 2 minus 5x plus 1.
Perfect. Anyone who did not understand this? Anyone is working on this and did not get the same answer? Got it, everyone? So let's find g of f of x. Gianni?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what do you find g of f of x?
I haven't started it. I just finished the other one.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, do it.
I have a question about the second part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at a point like I filled in so I'm doing g of x,
What
g
did
of
you
f of x, and for that I put g, and then I put the 5x plus 6 in parentheses
Okay.
to do the f of x, and then I replaced x with the f of x equation.
Yes, what do
So
you
I
get?
got 2 parentheses 5x plus 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then close parentheses squared.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, in that case, and then I got the other part too. But just for that specific part, do you do the times 2 first, or do you do the square? Do you
First the
square
square.
first?
First the square.
Okay.
And
That's all.
then you distribute the 2 to all the variables.
First you open the square. Once you got the whole square answer, then you distribute the 2. So basically this will become 2 times fx plus 6, fx plus 6. Then you had negative fx plus 6 and then negative 1. First you're going to multiply. Open this here. Keep 2 as it is. Multiply here. 5 times 5.
Wouldn't you have the 2 on, never mind.
Okay.
I was confused because, like, I thought that the 2 would be on both parts of it.
No. It's
That
just
makes
one
sense.
part. No. It's just one part. Yeah. So when you do it becomes fall method first, outers, inner, and last. Anyone who does not know FOIL method, how I got this thing here? If you don't understand, please ask me how I got this thing here.
Would you add the 30x plus 30x before you distribute the 2?
Yes.
Okay.
This becomes 60x plus 36 minus 5x minus 7. When you distribute, you get 50x square plus 120x minus 5x minus 7. So you get 50x square plus 115x Make sure you're getting this answer here I have on the board. If you're not getting, please ask me.
Wouldn't that be plus 6? And so you would subtract 5 and
See
not
here.
7.
See here. It's negative, and then in bracket it was 5x plus 6, right?
Oh, okay.
So you change the sign of each and every term then.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone?
Oh, so when you bracket the 5x plus 6, you do have to flip the signs before you take it out the bracket again?
Yes, when you take out, whenever there's a negative in front of the bracket, you change the sign of each and every term inside. If it's
Okay.
positive, make it negative. If it's negative, make it positive. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Next part, f of g of -1. Gianni, you're gonna give me f of g of -1.
Okay, I'm finishing it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so g of f of x, we take that and we plug in the 1, so 50 times 1 squared plus...
Wait. They want f of g of -1.
Oh, I didn't do that. Sorry, I was doing g of f of 1.
Yeah, you have to find f of g of -1. How do you do that, f of g of -1?
So we're going to take f of g, so 10x squared minus 5x plus 1.
Yeah.
The original formula, and we're going to take 10x times -1 squared.
10x times or 10?
10x times -1.
No. So wherever you see x, you're gonna replace x with -1. X just goes away now. There is no more x now. You're gonna replace x with -1. So Gianni, what does it become?
10 times -1.
Yeah, -1 square minus 5 times
-1
and then
plus 1.
perfect. Then you solve. What is -1 square?
1.
1. -5 times -1?
Negative or positive 5.
Yeah. And then you had +1. What is 10 plus 5 plus 1?
16.
Perfect. Got your answer. Any questions, anyone? Okay, I'll do one more example here. I want everyone to try that. Okay, your copying is, if you're copying here, you can copy. And then you have example as fx is given to you as 2 over x minus 1 and gx is given to 3 over x. I want you to find f o g of x and then you need to find domain of f o g. Evander,
Yes.
okay, I want to find FOG of x. Can you help me?
Yeah. So you're gonna put f parentheses 3 over x, and then you're gonna do, yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what to do after this.
After this, so fx is this thing, right? Fx is 2 over x minus 1.
Yeah.
I want you to find f of 3 over x. How do you do it?
I really don't know if I'm being completely honest.
Wherever you see x, you're gonna replace the x with 3 over x in fx.
All right.
So what does it become?
So then it would be
2 over
3
over
of x.
Yeah, 3 over x and then
minus 1.
Yes, perfect. You just replace. Wherever you see x,
Okay.
replace it with that thing. I replaced it. Now you need to solve it. Yeah, now you need to solve this. Okay. How do you solve it? I need to make, first of all, from 3 over x, I need to subtract 1. Okay, there
Got
is
it.
2 ways of doing this, guys. It's up to you which way you want to do it. If you're okay with writing this division sign like this, you can do it like this. I don't like too many division signs. I know I'm dividing 2 with this whole thing, 3 over x minus 1. I prefer writing like this because I don't like too many division signs. It just makes it easier. So you get 2 divided by, okay. Now here, Evander.
Yeah.
I need to subtract 3 over x minus 1. How do I subtract? What's the
Would you
denominator
just-
here right now?
What was that?
What's the denominator of 1?
1.
1 right now. Okay. I need common denominator. How do I make common denominator?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's common between x and 1?
They're both 1.
X, right? X and
Yeah.
1 is x. How do I make this x?
Just multiply by 1, I guess.
X. I need x right there. Here I have x
Alright.
here. I don't have x here. I need x
Got
here.
it.
So I multiply this x. If I'm multiplying the denominator, I have to multiply the numerator also with x, guys. That's
Yeah.
how you deal with fractions, guys. I need to make common denominator. Right now, here I have x, here I had 1. To make this x here, I had to multiply this with x. But if I'm multiplying the denominator with x, I have to multiply the numerator with x. So what does it become? 3 over x minus?
X over x, or 1 negative 1x over 1x.
Yes, perfect. You got this thing. Now I can write it as a combined form. If I write it as a combined form, it becomes 3 minus x over x. Anyone has any questions till here, till this step here? Okay. Next thing what you're gonna do is, in this case, what you're gonna do is division 2, basically 2 I can write as 2 over 1. This remains as it is. This division you can change into multiplication. That's how you divide fractions. First term remains as it is. 2 will remain as it is. I'm just writing 2 as 2 over 1. It remains as it is. Division changes into multiplication. But then you flip the second one. You flip the second one after the division sign. So it becomes x over 3 minus
X.
That's how you do the fraction division. You change it into multiplication and flip the second one. And then you got this thing. And then just multiply. Multiplication, you just multiply directly. It becomes 2x over 1 times 3 minus x is 3 minus x only. So you get this thing as your answer. So FOG of x became out to be this thing. Any questions, anyone? You cannot subtract 1 from a fraction like this only unless you have a common denominator. To make the common denominator, you multiply. But if you're multiplying the denominator, you have to multiply the numerator also of that thing. That's how I got x over x. Once you got this, division changes into multiplication and you flip. After you flip, you just multiply, cross multiply. Just multiply. You get 2x, 2 times x gives you 2x, and 1 times this thing gives me 3 minus x. Now for the note. Now I want everyone to make note here. So next thing they want you to find is domain of FOG of x. They want you to find domain of FOG of x, which is basically f of gx. We know that. So the steps, I want you to make a note for this thing here. Note. It says if x is not in the domain of G, it must not be in the domain of FOG. Also it says any x for which gx is not in the domain of f must not be domain of FOG. What does that mean? What does that mean is, so first of all, let's see, they wanted to find the domain of FOG of x. They wanted to find the domain of FOG of x. You were given fx as 2 over x minus 1. You were given gx as 3 over x, and you found FOG of x as 2x over 3x minus 1. Oh, sorry, 3 minus, I'm going to write it again here. You found FOG of x as 2x over 3 minus x. You found this thing. These are the things we found. They wanted to find the domain of this thing. Domain of this thing. First, what you're going to figure it out is, always figure out the domain for the second one. I just need the domain of the second one. What's the domain of gx, Aiden?
Of gx?
Yes.
3 over 2 over 1 minus 1, or x minus 1.
How did you gx. How do you find the domain for this thing? Domain. We did it in the last lecture. Domain.
Yeah, 3 over, negative infinity?
When you have a denominator, what do you do, Aiden?
Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on. It's not equal to 0.
Yeah, x not equal to 0. So what's
0,
my domain?
Yeah. What's the domain?
So 0 is not included. This was negative infinity to infinity, and 0 was not included.
Yeah.
So what's my domain?
Negative infinity, regular.
Yeah.
Parentheses, and then 0, regular.
Yeah, open, because 0 is not included. Then?
Yeah. And then 0,
to infinity.
Normal, and then
infinity,
normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you got for gx. So what you're gonna do is, when you have to find the domain of FOG, you will always find the domain of the second one. And you will find the domain of the last one also. I again repeat, you will find the domain of the second one and the domain for the last one, whatever you found. And the domain of this whole thing. The whole thing. Domain of the second one and domain of this whole thing. So can I have Jasmine? Come on, guys, fast. Okay. For this one, Jasmine, can you tell me what's the domain for this thing?
Hold up.
How do you check for the domain? What do you do? When you have a denominator, what do you do, Jasmine?
You have to equal it to 0.
Yeah, not equal to 0. And when you solve, what do you get it?
You add 3 to both sides.
Subtract 3. Because it's adding, so you subtract 3.
Oh, yeah. Like that.
You get negative x not equal to negative 3. I need x. What do I do? How do I get rid of this negative sign?
I would just divide by -1.
Yeah, divide by -1. You get x not equal to 3. So you have a 3 which is also not included. So on the same number line, you're going to put that condition also. So you're going to put the condition for the second one and the condition for this whole thing. Whatever you found for the whole thing. And then now you're going to find the domain. So what does it become? Negative infinity. So it divided into 3 parts now. My domain. Negative infinity to?
0.
Then?
And then 0 to 3.
And then 3 to infinity.
C to infinity.
Yes, so that's your final answer. So whenever they ask you to find f or g of x, first you're gonna see what's the domain for gx, the second one. The second one. Find that, make it on the number line. Then find for the whole thing the domain and see the common one. And that's your final answer. Any questions, anyone? Okay. So I'm going to take that in this. Kylie? Kyle?
Yes.
Jade?
Here.
Jamila?
Here.
Cameron?
Here.
Execuo?
Here.
Wyatt? Wyatt? Not here. Minhan?
Here.
Jaden?
Here.
Jaden is here. Okay, yep, perfect. Alexander?
Here.
Okay. And Leah? Leah?
Here.
Okay. Thanks everyone else. I have the attendance. Only people who are absent today is Gabriella, Cole Hartman, Jacqueline. These are the only 3 people whose attendance I don't have. And anyone who is in contact with Gabriella, tell her to contact me. Okay. Thanks,
He
guys.
said he would email you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. Have a nice weekend. See you on Tuesday.
Hi, Miss K. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, guys. Bye. If you have any problems, you can stay back. I'll help you.
Miss K, I have a question.
Yeah, Jim.
When we were doing the domain, why did you do the domain of g of x and then f of g and not f of x?
So basically, whenever you're finding the domain for the composition, that's what we wrote in the note here. That's what we wrote here. So whenever you're finding f of g of x, domain for this thing, you always include this thing, the second one, and the whole thing. The reason is why. You know why, Jamila? You know the reason is, what are we doing? We are putting, when we are finding f or g of x, what are we doing? We are putting gx in f, right? But if my gx does not exist, how will I put in fx?
Okay.
So that's why you have to exclude those points which make my gx as invalid.
Okay, and then the same thing happens when you switch it. So like g of x, you just do f. And
Exactly.
The whole thing. Okay.
Exactly. Perfect. You got it.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Take care.